Narp, come watch, it's time, set the clock. Hitting like Ray off the block. Feel like MJ with the rock. Home run like Sammy Sosa. 2 clutch last period. Get ready, set, go. This a Narp experience. It's a Narp experience. It's a Narp experience. It's a Narp experience. It's a Narp experience.
What's up? Welcome back to our first episode of our 2-team talk. We're going to be going through every team in the NBA, 2 teams at a time, just updating everybody on how we think they've been performing this season, anything that's been surprising, anything that's been disappointing about every team in the league. Today we're going to come at you guys with the Hornets and the Jazz, our first 2 teams. These should be some fun ones. Let's get right into it. First up, we got the Hornets. Nate, what do you think this year?
So far, the Hornets have looked pretty good. I think me and you talked about this off air. They're a fun team to watch. LaMelo Ball is a lot of fun. He seems to get the energy going. He seems like he's a pro. He looks very comfortable already. And Gordon Hayward has been an awesome just addition to this team, of course, with their ambitions of trying to make the playoffs. He's been really good so far in that sense. But overall, as a team, a fun, competitive team. They like to grind at you, and they don't make it easy. I mean, a lot of games that they've been in this year have come close. But yeah, so they've honestly got some flyers on the team, and they're a lot of fun to watch. What do you think?
I think LaMelo's going to be Rookie of the Year, especially if he keeps playing like this. I don't particularly think it's going to be close either. I don't think anyone else really has a shot at this point, unless somebody just comes on and starts tearing it up out of absolutely nowhere. I think it's his for the taking. So anyone who bet that at the beginning of the year, you'll enjoy your winnings on that one.
Yeah, no doubt.
I like them a lot. I think they have a couple of guys that will be there through the rebuild because clearly LaMelo is the key piece to this, and they just got him. I don't really know how I feel about players like Malik Monk or the Martin brothers. I know
or
that
Devontae Graham even.
Yeah, Devontae Graham's horrible. We'll get to that. Devontae Graham's shooting 36% from the field this year.
So crazy how much of a switch, how much of a 180 it's been for that guy.
Well, he wasn't particularly efficient
awesome
last year. He was just good because he was most improved. His numbers from before weren't
right. He was given
sort
the opportunity.
Yeah. But yeah, I love LaMelo. Rozier, he gets hot, and when he gets hot, it feels like he just comes on the court, splashes 4 threes in 2 minutes, and all of a sudden, if the game was close,
it's a different game. Yeah, it's a different game. He's been winning them games because of like his little spark plug like mentality and scoring. Honestly, dude, just been having some lights out games.
Yeah, I remember people clowning them, saying he wasn't worth that contract, and now it's funny because if you look at it, he's arguably better than Kemba in half the price. Man. So
it's looking a lot better as of right now for that signing.
That's rough.
He's got some value.
Yeah, I honestly, he does, and I don't know exactly what you want to pin him at number wise, but he is offense. That's for sure. They are currently first in their division at 12-14, but I'm also pretty sure there's only 5 teams in the East who are above 500 right now. So
yeah, it's been a battle for those East Coast teams, no doubt. Like, seems like every team, win one, lose one. They're back and forth.
They are 6th in the East though, so currently they're a playoff team, and I would love to watch them in the playoffs, especially if they get like a 6 seed. They play the 3 seed. Not sure who that is right now. What is that? Maybe Boston, someone like that.
It would be the Nets, and then Boston's 4th.
The Nets.
Yeah.
Didn't they? I'm not mistaken. They beat the Nets. They were the first. That was their first win of the season, or the first Nets loss of the season was against these guys.
Yeah, something like that.
I remember that. Yeah. So definitely excited to see what these guys offer for the rest of the year. They're definitely going to be a fun team to watch. You think they have any All-Stars? Think Hayward could sneak in?
There's a chance Hayward sneaks in. I think if they find a way to continue to keep themselves within like the playoff hunt, we're definitely looking at a potential All-Star. I mean, he's just got to continue to be the Hayward that we knew from the Utah Jazz days. He continue to be consistent in that way. He's got himself a chance, especially out in the East.
Yeah, that's looking like a good signing. Definitely, I'd like to see where they are in 2-3 years when LaMelo's got a little more run under his belt. I mean, he's had the spotlight on him for years, but see what they can do with this roster around Hayward and LaMelo going forward. And definitely
like that.
Definitely a really fun team to watch this year. I don't think many people really expected that. I mean, after they got LaMelo, I knew the hype would be around him because you know how the NBA and ESPN, they all love their darling LaMelo, but he's been proven to be worth it, honestly.
Gotta love the balls, big baller brand. But no, I mean, even outside of those two guys, I mean, Miles Bridges has looked like awesome. This might be his best season as a pro.
Oh my gosh.
PJ Washington running him at the small ball 5, that's clearly worked out for them in a lot of cases. So I don't know. You're right. It seems like this team's going to be a fun team to watch over the next coming years, and we'll see. I mean, I think they'll definitely make a playoff spot this year. I'm thinking that if not like the 7 or 8, they're going to at least be in the play-in around the 9 or 10. Yeah. So for all you Charlotte fans, look alive because these guys are ready to roll.
I mean, after last year, I thought I would have pinned them to be a bottom dweller, bottom 3 team for sure. And they're definitely, at least so far, showing that they have a little more promise than that. Mm-hmm. But Miles Bridges, too, he slams that ball so hard. If he keeps dunking the way that he's been dunking,
oh man,
he's going to be a top 10 dunker of all time if he keeps slamming it the way he has. Because every time I see a highlight of him on Twitter, I am glued to it.
He's baby Dominique. He's baby Julius. I mean, even then, he's more athletic than those dudes. Like, come on, man. This guy flies.
All right. That's enough on them. Let's
right.
go to our next
West
team.
Coast.
Number 1 team in the NBA right now. Number 1 record.
This is a surprise.
Yeah, they're a half game ahead of the Lakers right now. They're at 20-5. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. I mean, on paper, this team should be disgustingly good. They have a veteran point guard. They have the star 2 guard. They can both play a little defense. Rudy Gobert, I don't think
Defensive Player of the Year.
I don't think people really. This last year, when Kevin Durant came out and clowned Gobert, talking about how there's players in the NBA that players don't really respect like the media does defensively, and he was talking about Gobert.
Yeah, he was slighting him. He putting a slight at him.
I don't think people really understand, just the casual viewer, understands how good Rudy Gobert is because he isn't really that skilled offensively. And there are times when he'll get had. Like, he'll go against Embiid sometimes and he'll get had. But and other top centers in the game. But that's part of being like one of the best defenders in the league is you can't go out there and shut someone down every night, especially when you're playing against all NBA talent players. But
he's not going to be able to hold his own against every single player on every single possession.
Every night,
switches, But he's clearly the defensive player, multiple-time defensive player for a reason. The man is averaging 2.7 blocks a game. Yeah. I mean, and shooting 62% from the field, might I add you. He's an all-star. He is an all-star. He's an all-star.
He's an all-NBA. He's third team right now. Jokic, Embiid, and him.
Yep.
He's probably first-team defense again.
Oh, my goodness.
He's probably up there for Defensive Player of the Year again, too.
Without a doubt. No doubt about it.
I mean, I've seen some people talk about him for MVP this year, potentially. I mean, I think that's more of a play on the definition of MVP, because of he is that valuable to them, just because he's their whole defense. I mean,
right. I was going to ask you that. Like, who do you find more valuable for this team? It's got to be Gobert over Donovan, right? Even though Donovan is their he's their scorer. He's their guy that rely on to get a bucket. I don't know, man. I feel like if you don't have Gobert on the defensive side, you're just not getting as many wins. You're not getting as many stops.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if Donovan can score 50 points a night over the next best team or next best player. If you're giving up 115 points and your team's only scoring 110, well, that's it. That's the game. And you took the loss. So
it is tough.
I don't know. I think
it's tough because your scoring guard in the NBA seems to be more valuable than a big. But if you can get an elite big, is Gobert one of the elite bigs? I mean, he just signed a max extension. I know a lot of people were saying that wasn't worth it, but this year they're the number 1 team in the league. They're on fire. And on paper, like I was saying earlier, Derek Favors coming back is also huge for them too, to play the backup center. But they have all these wings who have good size and can shoot the lights out of the ball.
Yeah.
And Mike Conley playing good offensively. with Gobert playing efficiently around all his shooting and Donovan. And we haven't even gotten on to Clarkson.
Yeah, let me get onto that quick because this guy is the second leading scorer on the team. I think he's clearly got to be, with how good the Jazz are with their record, he's clearly got to be in the running for Sixth Man of the Year. No, I mean, when you're your second leading scorer and he comes off the bench each night, but playing 25, 26, 30 minutes sometimes a night, I mean, he's looked like he's just rejuvenated his career since getting to Utah. And no wonder why they paid him when they did, because I mean, the contract looks better now. He's playing consistent basketball.
They're also a small market team. You got to sign.
Right, you got to sign. You got to sign your players,
which goes into the reason why they extended Gobert too, I'm sure. But
right, because they know they can't just go out and sign the best. But I mean, Jordan Clarkson shooting 38% from the field. And another note I made is it's good to have Bogdanovich back on the court for these guys. Him and Conley are playing really consistent basketball, and both are shooting 41% from downtown.
If he was there in the bubble, they would have beat the Nuggets.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah, it would have been a different story for. Yeah,
they would have beat the Nuggets, and that changes a lot too, just narrative-wise, the NBA. Because imagine the Nuggets get knocked out in the first round last year. Maybe these guys don't beat the Clippers. It would have been a Clippers-Lakers Western Conference Finals.
And we don't
Who
know
knows who would have won that? I mean, I find it. I think you can almost guarantee they would have won if they had Bogey for that series. Or he's not the real Bogey, but he is a hooper on offense. Sometimes he's just like Rozier was saying before. It's just these spans in the game where he just gets the ball and he just comes down and lights it up 3 possessions in a row, and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah, and this guy is just 4 threes, and it's just like, what? Oh my goodness, the game just totally changed on us. And one other player I really like for this team, who's just doing it on both ends, is Royce O'Neal. I mean, this guy is getting paid nothing compared to what he's doing on the court. Yeah, it's like $6 or $7 million a year, and he is. He might be the best wing defender. He might be their best wing defender. Yeah. And he's playing 32 to 35 minutes a night. Yeah, and he's a 3-and-D. He's shooting. What did I read? 45.5% from 3. That's outrageous. Clearly, the volume isn't there up there. He's only shooting 4 a game, but still, he's at least making half. And he's played every single game so far for them as well. And he's just been a key piece to them. I mean, what a great value contract they got right there.
Yeah, do you think they're legit this year? You think they have a shot at winning the whole thing?
I think it's tough to say whole thing. I think they're clearly a home court playoff team. I know that doesn't really matter with COVID going on, but they're going to be a top 4 seed, no doubt about it. Quinn Snyder's an awesome coach. He's got them locked in every single season, always playing around these standings, I should say, in the sense of where they always land at. But them being number 1, I don't think it's fluke. Do I see them finishing the season as a number 1? No, I don't. But they're not far off. Like we said, they're only a half game above the Lakers. And then the next best team after that's the Clippers, who's not behind by 2 games to them. So definitely going to be a tight race. They're going to get home court playoff positioning, but I just don't see them sticking at that number 1 spot. But who knows? They could surprise us all.
I'm honestly terrified of them. I was last year too, before Bogdan got Bojan.
Yeah, Bojan Bogdanovic
got hurt. Before he got hurt, I was terrified because just on paper they have all the shooters, they have some defense, they have spark plug off the bench, they have an elite guard defender and Conley, and they have the best big defender in the NBA.
Yep.
They're I honestly think they're legit. I think they might be just as legit as. I mean, a lot of people are. I mean, the consensus is the Lakers are the favorites, and I obviously get that. It's LeBron and AD, but as far as team composition goes, you can't find another team in the league that's built as well as these guys, like 1 through 8, 1 through 9.
Yeah, they've been pretty consistent with their rotation and lineup for what seems like the last 2 or 3 seasons. Ever since they've drafted Donovan Mitchell, it's just been consistency after consistency.
It's cohesion too.
Good. Yeah, it's cohesion and it's camaraderie. It seems like it's always the same guys buying in. They might add 1 or 2 pieces here, but they're pretty comfortable with where they're at, and they just keep growing.
Yeah, they're gonna be good. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they made it out of the West. I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised if they won it all. At the rate that they're playing this year, and I know that statistically they'll fall back to the mean on shooting most likely. They're not just going to stay on this complete 9-1 tear they've been on for the whole year, but
right.
They still have all the makings of a good team. If this isn't a team that can contend for a title, then who is? I mean, they don't have the star power like a Kawhi and PG or AD, but they have all the pieces and they have good players. So
yeah, they have guys who know how to get it done on both sides, and guys who buy into being that blue collar Utah Jazz player. So it's nice to see, and we'll see if they remain consistent.
Yeah, yes we will.
Thanks for tuning in to the NARP experiment. Please hit a like and subscribe on your way out. We'll see you next game.
Home run like Sammy Sosa. 2 clutch last period. Get ready, set, go. This a NARP experience. It's a NARP experience. Said this a NARP experience. Said this a NARP experience. This a NARP experience.